Now our next topic is chromatography. What do you mean by chromatography? Student, chromatography is derived from the Greek term that chromo. Chromo means what? Chromo means color. Chromatography is a kind of technique of separating two or more dissolved solid which are present in solution in very small quantity. There are many types of chromatography, but the simplest form of the chromatography and the simplest form is the paper chromatography. This separation is based on the fact through two or more substances are soluble in the same solvent called water and whatever, but their solubilities may be different. You can understand by the help of diagram. Student, it is a very easiest and most easy to perform the chromatography experiment with the mixture of colored material like ink and other dyes, because they separate to give the colored component which can be seen easily as the colored spot on the paper. A special type of paper called chromatography paper is used for carrying out the separation by the chromatography. For ordinary purpose, however, the filter paper can also be used for paper chromatography experiment. We will now describe the process of separation of dissolved solid from the solution by the paper chromatography. Okay, first of all, I am going to give you example by which you can easily understand. Black ink. Black ink is what? Black ink is the mixture of several colored substances or dyes, okay, which can be separated by the paper chromatography. When you have taken a paper chromatography, or you can take a thin long strip filter paper, draw the pencil line over there about 3 centimeter from one end. Put the drop of ink on the filter paper. You can understand by the help of diagram. I am going to show you this one. When you have taken a thin long strip of filter paper and draw the line, and when you put the small drop of ink over there, then what happened? At the center of pencil, means what to do first? When you have taken a thin long strip of filter paper and draw the pencil line and put a small drop of ink on filter strip at the center. What you see the cross marks. So here you put the ink, you drop the black ink, and when the drop of ink has dried, this one, when it dried, you can see when this drop of ink has dried, the filter paper strip is lowered into the tall glass jar containing some of the water in its lower part. And you have taken a glass jar, long or tall glass jar containing the small amount of water, this one, and you attached the filter paper is vertically by upper end of the glass rod with sellotape. And but you remember, the lower end of the paper strip should be deep in water. Should be deep in water. But one thing you remember, the pencil line, this one is pencil line, should remain above the water level in jar. And what happens when you do like this? Then water gradually rises the filter paper strip like this. As water moves the paper strip, it takes along dyes present in ink. You can see here. Let me erase this one. Means when the water moves above the paper, it takes along the dyes present in ink. And dyes which is more soluble in water dissolve first and rises faster and produce the colored spot on the paper at the higher position, and the less soluble dissolve a little later and rises slower and form the colored spot at the lower heights. In this way you can see here the water rises taking the dyes along with it. The different colored spot dyes separate from ink in this way. This one means the dye which is more soluble in water dissolve first and rises faster and produce the colored spot on paper at the higher position, and the less soluble dyes dissolve little and rises slower and form the colored spot at the lower height. Okay, when the water reaches the near the top end of the filter paper strip, the paper strip is removed and the jar removed from the jar and dried. The paper with its separate colored spot is called chromatogram. This is separate color which is called to be chromatogram. In this way, what happened? The chromatogram obtained by using black ink in the experiment has three colored spot on it. Let me erase. You can see the three color. 1, 2, 3. This one 1, 2, 3. This means that the given sample of black ink has the three different dyes mixed in it. Means the black ink which we put here is made up of three different colors. And what is the application of chromatography, student? It is used to separate the color in dye, pigment from the natural colors, and third, drugs from the blood. Now our next topic is